Hello students, my name is Moon and this is extra credit number 2, the nutrition counter. This is for all of my health classes, especially my nutrition class, but everybody else can play along. So in the all extra credit, can you see my mouse? In the all extra credits on the content list, click on that and then you will get the first one that you've seen before, but now here's something new, EH2, which is extra credit for homeworks number 2, which means that your homework assignment, your homework average can be helped by these assignments, these extra credit assignments. These are optional, it's extra credit, not mandatory, so you don't have to do it. If you don't do it, you don't lose anything, you don't gain anything, but you don't lose anything. All extra credit assignments, every one of them will be due May 20, Tuesday, which is 2 days before I have to submit your final grades to the registrar. I've tried pacing them out earlier, but because people procrastinate on homeworks and tests that are mandatory, they're definitely going to procrastinate on this. People tend to think that they'll be fine and they don't need it until like a week left in the semester, and then they suddenly realize they desperately need extra points. So I just leave it all to the end of the semester. Right, so what's this? It's not visible yet because I'm not finished building this. There is the module, and then the assignment will be uploaded to, and then, well, the assignment is uploaded, but then what you also need is a nutrition counter, because that's what it's all about. So there will be a file, an Excel spreadsheet called the nutrition counter, and this is what you should look like when you download it here. Okay, this is my nutrition counter that I hard-coded in Microsoft Excel. If you look up here, you can see it's not Microsoft. I'm using a freeware version, a freeware of Microsoft Office. And I'm not going to say the name because they're not paying me, so I have no financial interest. But as far as I've noticed so far, that this service, it does everything I need and want from Microsoft Office. And I don't have to pay anything. Right, and then you have this spreadsheet here, and what I did was I counted up total calories and carbohydrates and fiber and protein. There. Now, if you're seeing these numbers and your mind is going, oh my God, math, and then it shuts down, first of all, don't panic. It's just addition. Well, there's some calculations here, but most of it is just additions, but it is manipulating the Microsoft Excel things. And some of you may be really already very proficient in Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. Some of you have never seen one before and you've been avoiding it all your life. Pro tip, word to the wise, it's good to have worksheet Excel spreadsheet skills, and almost every job you're going to have that's indoors, almost every indoor job you will ever have will involve the Microsoft Office skills. Like you've already practiced with Microsoft Word or its variations for a text editor, and you've used email systems, and you've seen how I made the slides. That's PowerPoint. Well, here we are with Microsoft Excel. So if you're not familiar with Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, it's really worth it for you to figure out how. So what you can do is use this assignment as a way to practice for those of you who are learning. And that's why I'm going to build this for you by scratch. So I'm going to hit down here, there is a button here that's a plus sign, and I create a new spreadsheet, and you can watch me make it box by box, line by line, so that you know how to make it yourself. I'm not going to go I'm not going to slow down just to teach you how to use Excel. There are many videos out there on YouTube that does a way better job than me. So what you can do is go to YouTube. You know what? Let's do that. Go to YouTube. And by the way, for those of you who have still, there are some of you. I have 250 registered students in all my classes, and only 214 views are counted so far in the Basic Science Concepts video, and several of these are mine, as I'm double checking that everything's still working. So I'd imagine that there's only about 207, less than 210 of you, which means that there's a good dozen of you out there who have still not watched this video. What are you waiting for? This assignment is already 1 week old. So get on it. Anyway, you're here in YouTube and you search for Excel tutorial for beginners, like that, and then see what comes up. I'm not going to click on it. I don't want to endorse any special unique YouTube influencer, but that means then that instead of just relying on one video and following those instructions exactly, you should watch a bunch of videos, all falling under that, all contain the word tutorial beginners, and then you will have a better view of the real thing to do. So watch a bunch of videos, and then pick one that seem to fit your needs the best, and then follow that. Goes along the lines of the basic science video, where it's, in order to get closer to the real truth, you need to see multiple points of view. That was a homework assignment question number 5. So there that is. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Okay, so what are we doing? Let's say, just for argument's sake, that we're counting calories. So let me put calories here. But in order, you will, and so you say breakfast, and don't feel like you have to fill in every cell. Just the ones, you can just point to the ones you want. So let's have eggs. The how many calories are in an egg? Nutrition. So who said this? Who is, always double check your sources. Is this artificial intelligence? USDA? Oh, well, sources include. What does this include mean? What are they trying to pull here? Healthline, Nutritionix, Nutrition Source, American Egg Board. When it says American Egg Board, you would think that they know more about eggs than anybody else. But a part of me is wondering where they're getting this information from. Because if their reason for existence is to help sell eggs, like their boss are the egg producers of America, then they're going to start saying things that'll help sales and not say things that will hurt sales. See what I'm getting at here? So always use a critical thinking. 2 large eggs, 160 calories. Let's make it an even 150 because I have 2 medium eggs. You may be thinking, how can you be justified in guesstimating numbers like this? Aren't you supposed to be a scientist? Aren't you supposed to be like very knowledgeable? I'm supposed to be, but the thing is, I'm trying to role play this as you, somebody who's a beginner at these things. And one of the things I keep saying every lecture is, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Don't waste hours and hours finding out exactly the number for a particular item when you're trying to like get all of this done in an hour or so and get on with the rest of your day. Okay, if somebody told you it's going to take 8 hours to make this thing, you may say, forget it, I don't have time, and then not do it. So whatever rough numbers you can use will be better than not doing it at all. All right, 2 eggs. What are you eating? What are you gonna have? What's breakfast? Toast, right? 2 toast, and then who eats just 1 toast? So bread, toast. Let's look up toast. Search engine, toast, nutrition. Double check the source. You know what? To save time, let me just take. Who is this? It's really disturbing me. This word is disturbing me. So if they're saying the United States Department of Agriculture numbers are included, what else is included? Get it? See what I'm saying? What else is included? Is it the Bread Makers Association of America numbers too? So it makes me wonder. But anyway, here they're saying 75. You know what? For the interest of time, because I need to get to the gym later today, so I really can't be sitting here searching up every item here. Let's just go with a 75. And there's 2 of them, right? So it's what's 75 times 2? Okay, so what you can do here is 75. I write an equal sign, and then in Excel times is asterisk. It's not, oops, I said 5, right? Asterisk. It's not the letter X. It's asterisk. It's 150. But are you going to put butter on that toast? Right? Who doesn't put butter on your toast? So, oops, butter. Artificial intelligence. I always skip artificial intelligence. Look at that. 1 tablespoon. Butter. It seems like such a small amount. It's 102 calories. Now you may say, wait, isn't butter known for fat? And didn't I say last week that saturated fat is bad? So I did say those things, but we're just counting calories for now because this is a nutrition counter tutorial. It's not butter. All right, what else did you have for breakfast? Milk, a glass of milk. So let's go look up milk. Milk, nutrition facts, 1 cup, 103 calories. Is it? Who drinks just 1 cup of milk? Have you seen how small a cup is? Is a drawing here. Who is this? WikiHow. Please don't sue me, WikiHow. This is for educational purposes only. This is a cup. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Anyway, milk. Oh, orange juice. OJ. So let's look up orange juice. Juice. Oh, with a G, sorry. Who is this? WebMD? Well, so .com means it's a commercial company. It's a for-profit company. They say they try to keep their numbers accurate, but remember, a for-profit company is heavily dependent on profits, right? And so they could be, their advertisers may have a say in what's actually put on their website. Like if they want the orange juice advertising contract and then they say something that's embarrassingly true about orange juice, and then the orange juice advertiser says, we'll pay for our ads, but we're only if you take that information off of your website. You know, that kind of a dynamic. Anyway, they say 112 grams of 112 calories for orange juice. How much orange juice? 1 cup. So 1 cup. See, you have to be very careful. 1 cup. And it said, oh, let me, 112. Okay. Let me bring this down a bit so it makes it easier to click back and forth. 112. And what do we leave out? Bacon. Nobody eats one slice of bacon. Let's make it 2 slices, 16 grams of bacon for 90 calories. 16 grams of bacon for 90 calories. 16 grams of bacon for 90 calories. Whoa, look at that. It's like off the entire list, bacon seems to be the least in the calories, at least for 2 slices. But remember now that bacon is loaded in fat, though. Okay, anyway, that's enough for now. That's enough for now, because how do you count up all the calories? Okay, this is one way to do it. You do this, and then somewhere on the spreadsheet, there's going to be like some way to do sum. And this is your sum. And up here is the equation that was automatically generated for that 700 calories for breakfast. But you're not done, because then you have lunch, you have snack, you have dinner, you have another snack. You know, it just keeps going. And what about second breakfast? What about 11sies? Okay, so what am I getting at? Putting the sum number here and just keep marching it down, it gets a little inconvenient. So instead, let's have a category here, total calories. And we start, we start the morning with 0. This line is just for the label. And this is what we're going to do. The equal sign, click on the previous cell, and then plus, and then click on the left cell. See what happened here? This is equal to this cell plus this cell. So if I put a 1 here, see what happened? It became a total of 1. If I put an 8 here, or 6, it became a 6. See what is happening? So if I leave it at nothing, it's a 0. But now take this, say right click, copy, and then go to this cell on this line, right click, paste. There. So okay, so it's adding this cell to this cell, but what is it adding to? And then look up here, you can see it's D13, we're in the D column, plus C14, C column. So it's D14 plus, C14 plus D13. This is the 13 line, this is the 14 line. So this is saying take whatever's here and add it to here. So now do copy, do paste, and it took what's here and added here, and like that. See, and now we have this running total. So now here's something you can do especially. And you may say, I already know how to do all that from like word editing. Yeah, but now can you do this? Copy, swipe this whole row, and paste. Look at that. So each one is automatically increasing the numbers that make sense. So remember, we had 707 down here as a total, or we can just do that again just to show you. 707 is here and 707 is here, so we know it's accurate. What this means is that we can take this and extend it all the way down, paste, and now we have this running total. So no matter where you are, you can add. See what I'm doing here? You can just add, and it keeps a running total. You can take away and say, you know what, I don't want it. You know what, I don't want this. And you know what, this looks like the sign of the devil, so let me change it to 554, like that. And you know what, I like this food, whatever it was, so much, I had it again. So you can't, what did I do here? Instead of copy, I did Control C, and then I went over somewhere else and I did Control V, because copy is Control C and paste is Control V. See what I'm getting at here? So I have this running total calories. All right, and now what you can do is do the same thing for protein, total protein. You can do it for fiber, and total fiber, and anything else that strikes your fancy. You want to track fats, you want to track saturated fats, you want to track unsaturated fats, you want to track sodium. Oh, great. Okay. For my eyes, since these two are together, I would rather do this. I would rather choose the column, and somewhere is going to be a right justify. Or how about format, align text, right. And it took all these numbers and shoved it to the right, and including this category. So this one I moved to the right, this one I moved to the right, just so that these two can be seen together. It makes it easier from far away to know what's going on. Okay. This is how you total. This is a fancy, easy, cheap way. Cheap because it's free. Easy because you just saw me do it and I'm comfortable with Excel. Easy, cheap way to count up all of your nutritional intake for the day. Okay. How many are you supposed to have for the day? Because remember in the lecture I said there's a basal metabolic rate, but then I said that's just enough calories you need to survive if you were in a coma. That is not a useful number because you're not in a coma, you're doing things throughout the day. So it would be great if you could calculate a number for yourself that is based upon your regular or ordinary or unexceptional activity for the day. And that's a resting metabolic rate. And let me go over to the original thing here. And here is this equation for resting metabolic rate. So let me just swipe this whole thing and say copy, and then go to my worksheet, click somewhere high, and then right click, paste, like that. And that's my resting metabolic rate. How about that? Let me play with the borders just to make it stand out. Okay, so this is me. I don't know you. You do you. What's your age? How many kilograms do you weigh? This is kilograms. You know, you need to calculate your pounds into kilograms. Weight. How tall you are, and using this equation, the Mifflin-St. George equation. And I only chose that because it's the simplest equation. It's easiest to follow. There probably are more complicated equations that are more accurate, but again, I'm trying not to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I just want some number that I can play with for now. So this is my resting metabolic rate. So let me carry that over. Let me say RMR, bold, and then right justify. Let me go equal sign. Oops. Let me go equal sign, and then this cell. So if I were to change this, like if I live to be 999 years old, Okay, so maybe that's unrealistic. If I was 30 years old again, those were the days. If I was 30 years old again, that would be my resting metabolic rate. See how this number changed and this number changed? But I'm not 30 years old. Let's get with reality. Today I'm 58. See, it went from 17 something to 1600. That's pretty depressing, huh? What about later this year? I'll be 50. I'll be 59. What happens to my 1598? 1593. Because as you get older, after the age of 30, as you get older, your metabolic rate slows down. Okay. So now, this time, we're not counting, we're not adding calories to the resting metabolic rate. This is like your allowance for the day. Calories allowance for the day. So instead of adding, what I do is I take this number, and instead of plus, I hit the minus sign, and then I click whatever's over there. There. Where's this 0.5 coming from? Oh, is the RMR is probably calculated to be a little more accurate than what is showing. I gotta go to Format Cells. Here where it says decimal places, I allow like 2 decimal places to show. Say OK. There it is. See that? The actual number is 1592.50 for somebody 59 years old at 82 kilograms, which actually comes out to 181 pounds, and who is 170 centimeters tall. How do you calculate your centimeters? Well, you go to Google and you go 5 feet 7 inches in centimeters, and I got 170 something. So that's how I found out I'm 170 centimeters tall. Okay, right, so now we have whatever number is here is subtracted from the number above, and that's what this is. So if this number is subtracted from this number, copy, paste. You have this. So this is a running total of what you have left. This is a running total of what you have so far. This is a running total of what you have left. So now let's do this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, first of all, let's leave it like that. So see, I'm in the negatives. I'm already in the negatives, because I had a 500 calorie snack. Let's be good people and do a 100 calorie snack. Let's have a 100 calorie snack. Did that help? Yeah, that helped. Unfortunate with lunch, there's nobody has a 5 calorie lunch. Let's have a 500 calorie lunch. Let's not have a 554 calorie middle snack. But you will have, let's say you have a 600 calorie lunch, which is unfortunate, because guess what? 600 calories is like your typical cheeseburger. So just the cheeseburger is 600 calories, and then if you're going to have fries with that, if you supersize it, if you drink a soda, a sugar soda, it's going to blow this out of the water. It's going to be like 1,000, 2,000 calories just for dinner. If you have a sandwich, that's 500 calories. If you have a bag of chips, that's another 300 calories. If you have like a Monster drink loaded with sugar, that's another 1,000 calories, whatever it is. See how this all adds up? And you have this number now. We're at a negative 414. Now that sounds depressing, but remember, this whole equation is just the calories you burn on a ordinary unathletic day, non-athletic day, or with no extra physical exertion. But actually you do physically exert yourself from time to time. After all, you go to work, don't you? You come to school, I hope. So you have to walk towards the bus station. You have to, sometimes you don't get to sit in the bus, you have to stand on the bus. You have to walk around campus. So daily activity is something to be considered. And now, how do you know how many calories of walking do you do? Oh, well, let's look it up. Calories, like that. And you have these calorie counters here. Who's this? I don't know who this is. Healthline.com seems to come up a lot. It's a commercial company. It's a for-profit company. Many of you are posting Healthline.com links. They're just summarizing. That's all. But anyway, since this seems to be your favorites, what many of your favorites, or many of you find this as a favorite source of information. What's this ad? Here we go. Calories burned, and you're not like speed walking like you're in the Olympics, right? You're like casually walking. So 2.9 to 4. Let's say 3 calories per what? Per minute. 3 calories per minute. So all right, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say 4 calories per minute. So what about a 30-minute walk? So 30 minutes times 4 is 120 calories. Let's give you that. Let's give you that. So now, exercise. Exercise. Walking, commute. And that's all I'm going to give you. That's all I'm going to give you. Oh, look at that. See, the letters are going beyond what I allowed. Oh, sorry. I moved it over. Okay. The letters are going beyond what I allowed for this column. What can you do? You can extend this. That's all. That's all. And everything will work. Everything will still work. So a walking commute is 100 calories. Let's make it a negative number because it's calories you burned off. So positive numbers are calories you put into your body. Negative numbers are calories you take out of your body. So let's continue this here. Let's make a we can't do that. All right. And now as long as this number is negative, you're gaining weight. As long as this number is negative, you're gaining weight. Remember, now you may say, wait a minute, you had this lists what seems to be like a typical American meal, or this list is actually a very normal American meal, and many people you know are not gaining weight. What the hell's going on? Why is this number so negative when you know a lot of people who weigh more, who eat more than this, and they're not gaining weight, they're not even obese? Remember, this RMR is for me, almost 60 years old, 181 pounds, not that tall either. So if you want to play around with these numbers, so let's say you are 25 years old. Let's say you are 200 pounds. Let's say you're still 5'7", because that's like a national average. Like, let's look up average height USA men. So artificial intelligence. Oh, 5'9". All right, 5'9". Fine. Let's go look up 5'9". 5 feet 9 inches in centimeters. 173. So let's make it 173 centimeters. 173. There. What happened to the... Whoa, look at this. Almost 3,000 calories. Almost 3,000 calories. No wonder a typical, a young, average American male. This is male, by the way. So what's the female equation? Oh, I guess I should have added a female equation. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. Positives all the way down. So no wonder a young adult, average American male is doing okay. In fact, they can eat some more. Like they could add a fry. Oops, 1,000. They can add fries and soda. See that? They can have a pizza and soda. Look at that. Oh, well, once you get to pizza and soda, you're kind of towing the line. But look at this. They walk, and an average American male, sports. But that's like, I know a good sports game, basketball, soccer, going to the gym, of course, track and field. They burn a ton of calories for the day, but this is for the day, but they only do that like maybe 2 days a week. Like amateur sports is only like a couple days a week or 1 day a week. So you have to take that ton of calories and you divide it by 7 to have an average per day thing. So let's have it, let's say, well, just for argument's sake, basketball game calories. All right, average person burns, who's this? Captain Calculator? Who is this person? What is a Captain Calculator? Quora. Quora has no authority. Quora is what random people upload to. Now, sometimes they upload good stuff, sometimes they upload complete nonsense. Wisconsin Department of Health Services, calories burned per hour in physical activity in a basketball game. Why are these commas in there? All right, let's go look into it. Basketball officiating, shooting baskets in a wheelchair. Wow. All right, let's go with game, and then these numbers. Oh, depending on your body weight. So we said the person is 200 kilograms. 200 kilograms is 441 pounds. Oh my God. Let's dial it back. Let's go to 100 kilograms. 220 pounds. Let's go to 90 kilograms. 200 pounds. Let's leave it at 200 pounds. Oh, look at the negative showing up. Look at the negative showing up. So they're at a deficit. So 1,000 calorie dinner, 1,000 calorie lunch, a 700 calorie breakfast, 100 calorie snacks throughout the day. Now you're at 1,000 calorie deficit, even if you are a young adult male. But let's do the sports thing. So calories burned per hour for 190 pounds, 700, let's say. And then how long is a basketball game? Like 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours. So that's 1,400 calories, right? 700 times 2 is 1,400. But then that's 700 calories for the week, because it was at one event. That was one event, and you only had one basketball game that day. So let's 700 divided by 7 days is that. You know what? How about 2 basketball games? Will that help? You're down to 500. Looks like you're gonna have to start looking for things to cut out of your diet. You're gonna have to cut this by 100 calories, you're going to have to reduce this by 100 calories. Is that helping? It's down to 3. Breakfast is pretty important. I'm not gonna mess with this. Breakfast is kind of important, but maybe the orange juice. You need a fruit though, so whatever the fruit is, but maybe the sugar can be. You know what? Let's leave it alone. I don't want to change too much out of your life too soon. Let's do. So you need to find 345 calories somewhere. So, but a young adult male tends to be active some other way. So let's say exercise here, and then another 100 per day. Okay, what if you exercised a little more? And now you're down to 145 to look for. So now if you reduce your lunch, okay, now you've given up the fries for lunch, and now you've given up the dessert for dinner. Look at that. Now you're at the steady state. Now, so when it's negative, it means you're gaining weight. If it's positive, it means you're losing weight. How much weight are you losing, by the way? If you are at 198 pounds at age 25, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and you now have a calorie left over of 54 per day or 50 per day, how long will it take to lose a pound of weight? Remember that calories per pound, remember this number, right, justify, is 3,500. So pounds per day. So you take this number and then divide by this number, equals this, and then it's the division sign, and then this number is that. So that's this, how many pounds per day if your calorie intake is 54 less than your calorie burnt off. But how many days is that? So days to lose 1 pound. So what you do is you take 1 divided by this number, 64 days. Okay, there's a lot of decimals. There's a lot of numbers here. Let's make it easier to see. So I go to Format Cells, change this to no decimal places, 0 decimal places, 65 days. I'm going to hit Control S for save, save early, save often. It takes, at this rate, it takes this many days to lose 1 pound, which is about right because it's not a lot of calories. And like I said in the lecture, it's not only about calories. You want to focus on protein, fiber, sugar, fat, saturated. So you know what, more important, let me go sodium, fat, saturated. You want to minimize fats, saturated fat. You want to increase the right numbers of unsaturated fats, and then the totals, just like you saw here. You don't need this RMR column on the others. You just want something like this. So total fiber, sugar, total sugar, sodium, total sodium, fat, total fat, total fat S, fat unsaturated, total fat unsaturated. So, and you have all these columns going up and down your chart, but at least you know how to make it now, here like that. And then you finally have this number here. Okay, hopefully you've seen enough from me to know how you got from here to here. And now you know how you can make this chart. This chart is for me. This is a typical day for me. I'm not saying don't eat the same things I'm eating, because you're not 59 years old. You're not 5'7". You're something else. Oh, what if you're a female? All right, so let's go look up the Mifflin-Jor equation for the resting metabolic rate for females. Let's see. All right, so we have multiple sources, and I don't know where they got it from. I know that for men, the equation is 10, 6 to 5, 5 plus 5. 10, 6 to 5, 5 plus 5. 10, 6 to 5, 5 plus 5. So at least this artificial intelligence got the male number correct. For women, they say 10, 6 to 5, 5 minus 161. 10, wait, 6 to 5 height, 5 age. That's the same. The only difference is the 5 plus versus the negative 161. Is that what Medscape is saying? $161. Is that what whoever this person is? Is that what the Nutrium.com is saying? $161. Everything else is the same. Looks like that's what it is. That's all that it is. So for men, let me, oops. So for women, it's negative 161. So let's go here. Let me add this line. For woman, it's 1. So what if you are a woman? What do? You go here, this cell, and you see this? You see this? You go to this 5, and instead of plus 5, you subtract 161. And that's your number. In this example we created, what does that come out to? Unfortunately, it means you're going to have to find some other way. You're going to have to find another 100 calories out of this list. So, by the way, how did I get 800 for lunch? It's what you do here. You just add these all up as an estimate. Now, for those of you who are still watching, thank you for your patience. You may have decided, you know what, this is way too complicated for me. I just want somebody else to do this for me. and you are absolutely allowed. It's okay. So what is another source for you to do? Well, you can get a nutrition counter. You can look for a nutrition counter app for free. There are many free artificial intelligence, and they're definitely going to advertise. And that's the problem with free apps. I said in lecture that if you get anything for free on the internet, it means you are not the customer. A customer, by definition, is the person who's paying the money. And since you didn't pay the money, you are not the customer. Who is the customer? The advertiser. It's the advertiser paying these services money, so they are the customer. Well, what are they getting for their money? Well, they're getting their service from this nutrition counter app. What is this nutrition service providing for them? I mean, for you, they're providing a nutrition counting app. What are they providing for the customer? They are providing you. That means you, the user, are the product. The advertiser is the customer. These apps are the seller. You who use these apps are the product. They're gathering up your data and selling it to the advertisers. That's what's happening. They're harvesting your data as you use these services and then sell it to the advertiser. And this is why I made this for myself. I don't want third-party companies knowing what I'm up to. Not just third-party companies, but they will sell their data to fourth-party companies, and they will sell theirs to fifth-party companies. And the more things about yourself you put online, the more the greater internet knows about you. Call me old school, call me a boomer, but I just don't feel comfortable like that. So there's your trade-off. If you get a third-party app to do this all for you, then it's very, very convenient. But the trade-off is you're giving away your health information to some stranger on the internet. If you don't want to mess with Excel, if you don't want to share your information on the internet, what can you do? Well, there's always paper, pencil, and calculator. You pull out your old trusty calculator and you do all of this on a notebook. You get out your sharpener, you get out your eraser, but you're basically doing all this on paper. And for some people, it's actually, they prefer that. It's more comfortable. Dealing with technology is stressing. Dealing with pencil and paper is very tactile. It's very comforting. Yes, it happens more slowly, but it's okay. You're not in a hurry. This is for you're playing the long game here. This is nutrition. It's not about getting a bikini body for the summer. It's about lowering your risk of heart disease in the second half of your life. So we are in it for the long game, and it's okay to take extra time to do it. So go ahead and take your time, do it at a relaxed rate. And if all of these numbers just giving you anxiety and causing you to freeze up, don't worry, just do it some other way, because the answers to the questions do not depend on using my spreadsheet. In fact, I even say it here, you do not need to use MyCounter. You may use any other way of keeping track of your food intake. So question 1, find out how many of these you eat per day, and use any method you want. Use any method you want to find out how many calories you eat in a typical day. And then don't tell me there are 2 reasons why you should not tell me. First of all, it's none of my business. I'm not your doctor. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor, so don't tell me. And secondly, if you knew that somebody was going to see this list, you're gonna start cheating. You're gonna start fudging numbers. You're gonna start messing with lists. You know what? To be honest, I did start modifying this list now that I knew I was going to be showing it to my students. See, even I am a human being. So you are a human being too, and you're going to start lying to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Keep that list secret. Keep that list safe. Don't let anybody see it. That way you can guarantee, well, not guarantee, but you have a better chance of telling yourself the truth. What I want to know is, of that entire list, which one has the most calories, and then look up on their nutrition label what else it has, and then think about what you can do to substitute it for a better nutritional alternative. Calculate your own resting metabolic rate. This one you don't need to keep secret. But I'm not asking you what the number is. I'm just asking you, do you think it makes sense? Is it realistic? And then explain why. Talk about what ways you can get, you know what, instead of calling it exercise, I'm going to call it physical activity. Find out how many calories you burn off per time or per day doing it, and then include the link so I can double check your numbers, and then figure out how many days it takes to lose a pound of body weight using that way, assuming the 3,500 number. I know it's actually different for everybody, but we're in this for educational purposes. If you really want to know what your nutritional requirements are, how to do this for real for yourself, then ask your doctor. And if your doctor doesn't know, then ask your doctor to refer you to a nutritionist. It's going to take money though, but because a nutritionist doesn't work for free, but that's the way you can get an actual number. Right, then you've heard enough from me now to attempt this extra credit assignment, so good luck on that. Good luck on your health journey. This is totally optional. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I wish you success and luck. And if you have any questions, of course, please feel free to email me. And anyway, I'll see you back in class.